Hello everyone, my name is Andy Gravis. I'm the high school principal at Southeastern High School. We would like to welcome everyone to enjoy our 2020 Veterans Day Assembly. Obviously, this assembly is much different than what we've had in years past. Here at Southeastern's, Veterans Day is something the students, staff, and community take very seriously. We want to take this time to acknowledge this special day for all veterans from every branch. Also, our goal is to teach our young people why this day is so important. From pre-K through grades 12, we want our young people to understand how thankful we should be for our freedom and opportunities granted here in the United States. None of these freedoms should be taken lightly or taken for granted. Soldiers all over the country have sacrificed so much so each and every one of us can enjoy life in America. On behalf of the Southeastern Local School District, we would like to thank every veteran out there who is watching this today. It is because of you we are able to teach our students about this important day. I would like to mention specifically 4 former Southeastern students who made the ultimate sacrifice for all. Aaron Reed, Brad Clemens, Shelby Long, and James Lunsford. Each one of these gentlemen are Southeastern Panthers. During this unprecedented time, the students and staff wanted to come up with an alternative way to honor our veterans. The students and staff members have been brainstorming since August to come up with an honorable way to recognize Veterans Day in a safe way. A special thank you to Mrs. Pugh and the Student Council, Mr. Siders and the Video Journalism class, Mrs. Adelsberger and the Advanced Choir, Mr. Donahue and the band, Mr. Wallace, Mrs. Cox, and Mrs. Smith with Senior Seminar class. The Southeastern Board of Education and Mr. Justice, the Southeastern Superintendent, also get a great thank you. After viewing this compilation, I hope you enjoy the virtual assembly and are pleased with the hard work that all of our Southeastern people have given. It is the least we could do for all of those who have served our country. Thank you and enjoy.
Hello, my name is Walker Zapata and I'm a member of the Southeastern Student Council. It is my honor to welcome you to Southeastern's 2020 Veterans Day Assembly. This assembly is just as important to the members of our community as it is to us at Southeastern. So even though this year's assembly is a bit different, we at Southeastern are happy to give you this presentation to honor those who have put their country above all else. At this time, please welcome Olivia Higley, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does caissons go rolling along. In and out, hear them shout, counter marching right about, and the caissons go rolling along. Then it's high, high, ye, in the field artillery. Shout out your numbers on and strong, strong. Wherever you go, you will always know that the caissons go rolling along. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we will fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marines. Anchors away, my boys, anchors away. Farewell to college joys, we sail at break of day, 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 day. Through our last night on shore, drink to the foam, until we meet once more. Here's wishing you a happy voyage home. We're always ready for the call. We place our trust in thee. Through surf, storm, and valley gale, high shall our purpose be. Semper Paratus is our guide, our faith and glory too. To fight, to save, to fight and die. I Coast Guard, we are for you. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, flying high into the sun. Into the sun. Here they go, pointing to me, oh wonder. Adam was to the gun. Now the guys try to fade from under. Off on one terrible course, we live in pain. We're down and away, and nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force.
Now we've reached a special portion of our Veterans Day Assembly, our special virtual Veterans Day Assembly 2020. At this time, we are going to award an honorary degree to a special Southeastern Panther. At this time, I'm going to read a little bit about that special Panther, Leonard Weaver. Leonard Weaver attended Southeastern High School in the late 1940s. He left Southeastern to enlist in the Army and serve in the Korean War. While in Korea, he fought in several battles, earning the Silver Star as presented by President Harry Truman and the Purple Heart, among other commendations. He was recognized by his commanding officer for taking heroic action and saving lives while holding the opposing forces at bay. He was eventually taken as prisoner of war by the North Korean forces and was held for 18 months, sustaining various injuries due to torture, one being an injury to his throat. After the war ended, he was carried off the plane on a stretcher, weighing only 85 pounds from starvation in the prisoner of war compound. He was able to recover enough from his wounds to work at the Veterans Administration Hospital in Chillicothe as a nurse's aide for the rest of his life. Some of his wounds stayed with him for life, however, one being a bullet too close to his heart to remove, which may have been a factor in his death when he died of a heart attack on November 22, 1982, almost 38 years ago. It is our honor to be able to present an honorary high school diploma to Mr. Weaver's family today. I would like to recommend that Mr. Leonard Weaver, who has met the appropriate guidelines set forth by the State of Ohio and the Southeastern Local Board of Education, be granted an honorary diploma. At this time, I ask Linda Kitchen, Vice President of the Southeastern Local School District, to come forward.
On behalf of the Southeastern Local Board of Education, it is a pleasure to accept your recommendation to grant an honorary diploma to Mr. Leonard Weaver. We will award his diploma to his family at this time, who will be accepting the diploma on his behalf. Do you give it?
Yeah, I can. Here's an honorary diploma for Mr. Weaver.
Veterans Day, a day many people look at as a day to get off school or work. But Veterans Day means so much more than that. Let's take a look back in history to learn a little bit more about Veterans Day. World War I, known as the Great War, officially ended on June 28, 1919, when the Treaty of Versailles was signed. However, fighting ceased 7 months earlier when an armistice between Germany and the Allied forces went into effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. This day was known as Armistice Day. Armistice Day was primarily set aside to honor veterans of World War I, but in 1954, after World War II had required the greatest mobilization of soldiers, sailors, Marines, and airmen in the nation's history, the word armistice was replaced with veterans. November 11th became a day to honor American veterans of all wars. The first celebration using the term Veterans Day occurred in Birmingham, Alabama in 1947. Raymond Weeks, a World War II veteran, organized National Veterans Day, which included a parade and other activities to honor all veterans. The event was held on November 11th, the designated Armistice Day. Later, U.S. Representative Edward Rees of Kansas proposed a bill that would change Armistice Day to Veterans Day. In 1954, Congress passed the bill that President Eisenhower signed proclaiming November 11th as Veterans Day. A good way to summarize Veterans Day is with this quote from Woodrow Wilson. To us in America, the reflections of Armistice Day will be filled with solemn pride in the heroism of those who died in the country's service and with gratitude for the victory, both because of the thing from which it has freed us and the opportunity it has given America to show her sympathy with peace and justice in the councils of the nations. In closing, if you see a veteran today or any day, make sure you thank them for your service. Thank you.
Beginning in 1947, the Voice of Democracy program has been the Veterans of Foreign Wars premier scholarship program. Each year, nearly 57,000 high school students compete for more than $2 million in scholarships and incentives, the top scholarship being $30,000. Students in grades 9 through 12 compete by writing and recording a 3 to 5 minute broadcast script on an annual patriotic theme. The broadcast script is then judged on originality, content, and delivery. VFW post winners proceed to the district level, and district winners compete at the VFW department or state level. The Voice of Democracy program is one of many ways U.S. veterans continue to give back to their country after they are no longer in active service. Here at Southeastern High School, students in Advanced English 11 and AP English Literature and Composition are given the Voice of Democracy as a class assignment and competition. This year's theme is this the country the founders envisioned? At this time, I am very pleased to present the winners from both classes. The Advanced English 11 winner is Alexis Bales, and the AP English Literature and Composition winner is Joel Richendaler. Due to contest limitations, only one winner for every 15 entries can be submitted to the local VFW. As the selected winners, Alexis and Joel were able to record their essays and submit them to the local VFW post for competition.
The founders of this great country came together to support one common cause, the American Revolution. They didn't all come from the same walks of life. They were artisans, lawyers, merchants, and farmers, all from different economic backgrounds, but they came together. The fathers of our great nation created the mosaic, the beautiful piece of art we call America, with every person, every voice, and every patriot belonging to a single piece of glass held in place by the plaster. The mosaic is not only seen as a whole, but is also seen as individual pieces that shine by themselves. The people that come together and support each other, that is the America I know and love, and that is the America the Founding Fathers envisioned. Every year, I sit in history class on September 11th, and I watch two planes crash into the World Trade Center. I watch the devastation deliver a stinging slap to the face of America. As we reflect on how we reacted to the impact, we should appreciate the new story we wrote of the new America we became. It wasn't a story that revolved around pity and self-sorrow. Instead, it's a legacy of a victorious country that overcame an extremely difficult situation. In Washington, D.C., both the Republicans and the Democrats sang the song God Bless America. They sang unified as one voice. Together, we flew the flag all over the nation, donated blood, and held candlelit vigils for the victims. I saw the American strength it took to sacrifice some of our personal privileges for the greater safety of our country. Privileges like otherwise shorter lines at the airport. With this, I've seen the most magnificent sight, the American people coming together to support each other in a time of terrible need. The irregular pieces of glass of that mosaic becoming cohesive to create a piece of art like no other. Over the course of American history, we have been faced with challenges never seen before, but we stand united. And unity is the foundation of our great nation. That is the beauty of our country and our most magnificent asset. It's what sets us apart. The Founding Fathers left room for change in everything they created, and they were extremely smart to do so. As time changes, so do the circumstances. They made sure to give us rights that they weren't so lucky to have. When they wrote the Constitution, they made it so our country could develop and grow without the need to make up a whole new document every time we were faced with an obstacle. They had the foresight to see that the world wasn't going to be the same throughout the course of history. The 22nd Amendment is a great example of how we are able to add things that the Founding Fathers maybe didn't think of at the time. This amendment limits the president to just 2 terms in office. George Washington actually set the precedent for this change as he retired after 2 terms. The Founding Fathers wanted a unique government such that no one person is in power. This amendment ensures that this will always be the case, and there will never be a tyrannical president. The Constitution has laid down the plaster for our mosaic and has enabled us to grow. As our glittering fragments of glass shine bright by themselves, collectively they create a stunning art piece. So what picture is created by the mosaic? It's a picture of the patriot dream, with vast blue oceans on both sides showing movement towards the gleaming cities and rolling countryside in the middle. The unique pieces of glass each tell their own story, and they represent the America made up of individuals from many backgrounds. The Founding Fathers laid down the plaster with the Constitution, but it was up to us to make something beautiful. I think they would be proud of what we have already accomplished and even more of what we're going to do in the future.
The greatest of homes require a solid foundation to stand on. Without a solid foundation, a home will eventually fall into itself, collapsing all of the hard work and time that went into building it. Here in the United States of America, the home is still being built. The building process has not been easy at times, as differing ideologies and views have threatened to tear it down. Luckily, the Founding Fathers acted as great builders and bricklayers to provide a strong foundation. It is now up to the people of today to continue building upon this home, one that was started nearly 250 years ago. Every home is built upon a piece of land. The land that the home resides on was once a property of former suitors, Great Britain. Over time, the land began to feel less like a place where one could build a home and more like a place where one would always rent. Taking away liberties, Great Britain began to further control the plans and physical matters of the building process. Outraged, the Patriots decided to fight for the rights of Americans, triggering the American Revolution. The Patriots wanted to own the land, wishing to no longer be tenants of Great Britain. A man who helped lead the charge for taking this land was George Washington, a respected general and first president of the United States of America. Washington was able to lead the Patriots onto enormous victories against Britain and guided the country into new leadership. The land for the home had been won, and it was now time to start laying the foundation. Now that the land had been won, the new home now had to have plans for how it should be built. There was an endless list of proposals, but only a few would be implemented into the plans for the new home. With careful planning, a select few of these proposals would be chosen, and 10 of those proposed were then ratified and added to the plans for the home. This is how the Bill of Rights was added to the U.S. Constitution. Although these rights are cherished today, and most are unaware of the man behind the decisions, the man who limited the proposals to what he thought were necessities in building an American life, the man with the name James Madison. Madison contributed numerous foundational blocks to the home, with efforts including the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. The foundation of the home had been created, and it was now time to find revenue to continue building. Every home needs finances in order to continue the building process. The United States was able to gain these financial resources through the creation of the United States Treasury Department and the founding of a national bank. This allowed the new country to collect taxes and lend its citizens money. This was a way for the government to have a steady source of income, as well as encourage its citizens to put their money back into the growing economy. The man who helped put forth these ideas, which led to modern-day economics, was Alexander Hamilton. Hamilton, through the implied powers of the Constitution, was able to create banks, taxes, and tariffs that would provide adequate income for a nation looking to overcome a sizable debt. Hamilton was able to contribute foundational blocks to the home through the use of income and foreign policy. Now that the nation was able to pay for the home, it was time to expand the foundation to what it is today. With the finances of the home no longer posing an issue, it was time for the foundation to expand. The expansion of the foundation would not only allow for more room to build, it would also allow the residents to flourish. This act was accomplished through the Louisiana Purchase, which granted the United States the western side of the country ranging from the Mississippi River to the Rocky Mountains. The 827,000 square mile area was purchased from France for a measly $15 million. The man who was able to buy this land and its precious resources was Constitution framer and President Thomas Jefferson. In this purchase alone, Jefferson was able to double the size of the country, allowing for westward expansion and the growing of the already healthy economy. Jefferson was able to add additional foundation blocks to the home through the use of diplomacy and a growth mindset, taking the home from the East Coast all the way to the Western Plains. The foundation had been established and the blocks had been laid. It was now time for later generations to continue building. The Founding Fathers of America created a great foundation for which the United States could build a home on for centuries to come. Generations later, the home is still being built, but with uncertainty about which way the plans will lead the construction next. With some politicians in power wanting to remove foundational blocks that have been put into place by the Founding Fathers, it is unlikely that this is the country the founders envisioned. Building the home has never been easy, but the current issues of the 21st century have made this point in time possibly the most pivotal for what kind of shape the home will take on next. It is important that all residents of the home find a way to work together to continue this extraordinary masterpiece that is the United States of America. A country with such a strong foundation is too beautiful and too powerful to let fall.
We confide in our strength without boasting of it. We respect that of others without fearing it. Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe to assure the survival and success of freedom. We will not waver, we will not tire, we will not falter, we will not fail. Peace and freedom will prevail. All gave some gave all.
Each year, a new soldier enlists knowing that they may or may not make it back home. We are here today to honor all veterans, soldiers, and those that have given the ultimate sacrifice. Words are not enough to honor the soldiers such as Lance Corporal Aaron H. Reed, PFC Martin Joseph Richardson, Specialist Shelby M. Long, Master Sergeant Brad A. Clemens, and Sergeant James Williams Lunsford, Jr. On this Veterans Day, I ask that we take a moment of silence to think about everything that we have. Now, I'm guessing you are thinking about things such as your spouse, your family, your animals, your hobbies, and other luxuries. These are some of the things that these heroes have given up so that all Americans can have the opportunity to experience freedom. The videos you are about to watch give a good insight on a hero's personal experience. Happy Veterans Day, and God bless America.
Hello, I'm Cannon's grandfather. My name's Tim Shoup. I served in the United States Army from 1979 until 2004. I was on active duty at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and I was a part of the 1st Special Operations Command, 5th Special Forces Group, Task Force 160 Night Stalkers. It was a Special Operations Aviation Unit. When I moved back to Ohio, I joined the 216th Engineer Brigade, where I served for 18 years. In 2002, I was deployed to Iraq with the 216th Engineer Brigade and retired upon my return. So I successfully completed 25 years of service, 18 and a half years with the Ohio National Guard, and 6.5 years on active duty.
Hi, my name is Ben Rhodes. I served in the Army 2001 to 2009. I was in Iraq 2006 to 2007 for Operation Iraqi Freedom. I want to say Happy Veterans Day to all the other veterans. Go Army. Have a great day.
Hi, I'm Eric Caldwell. I served in the United States Army from 1983 to 1991. Served in Desert Storm. I can't talk a lot about what I did because I was in the MI Corps.
Hello, my name is Bob Blake. I'm a United States Marine Corps Vietnam veteran. I'm brought to Southeastern High School with thoughts of my grandsons, Hudson Drake, current freshman, and 2014 graduate Cannon Strasball. Also, my daughter Monica McKee is a member of the school board this year, so I'm happy to be here. Of course, I miss the traditional get-together with comrades and friends and the staff at the school, but and the music, of course. Anyway, it's been a good day. As a Marine, I served in Vietnam in 1969, 1970. I was a basic rifleman in an infantry platoon many years ago. Also, I'm just happy to be here, happy everybody's safe, and looking forward to next year maybe being in a large group.
Hello, my name is Jerry Koenig. I served in the United States Navy during the Cold War, which is a period of time when I was in 1984 through 1988. I served once again in the United States Navy. I was an aviation machinist mate, which I actually worked on naval aircraft during this time on an airplane called the P-3C Orion. Our job in that squadron was to search out and track Russian submarines that were trying to park nuclear ballistic missiles on our coastline. During my time in the service, I had an opportunity to meet a lot of different individuals and serve with some great people. And during that time, I really didn't understand what a veteran was. Today I do. I understand. I proudly served, but I'm actually humbled by my service. Today we're at the Ohio Western Reserve National Cemetery, and around me is all my brothers and sisters who had served as well. And each and every one of us, when we signed up to be in the military or in whatever branch of service we chose, we signed on a dotted line that we were willing to sacrifice our life for this country and for what it stands for. Behind me stands the flag, our United States flag, and I know today a lot of people don't know or remember the Pledge of Allegiance, but I hope that each and every one of you does take that opportunity to look at that pledge and understand what that really is about, because I truly do understand it now. And when I look around at all these grave markers right now, each and every one of these persons that were, in one branch or another, they served honorably. And that's what it is to serve honorably. I can't even come up with the words and how each and every one of these individuals sacrificed some part of their life, and some of them were killed in action. Many of them got the opportunity to come home and lead on with their regular lives, but they all did it honorably, and it's an honor to me, but a humbling thing for me to actually serve in the Navy and do what I did like they did. One of the things here you'll notice is that each one of these individuals, they all have a story. They have a story to tell, and hopefully they had passed it on to the rest of their family that they can continue telling that story. How I came about being in the military was that many of my family members served. My father served in the United States Army. Many of my uncles served in the Army. But one of my uncles stood out. He served in the United States Navy, and he would always share stories with me as to exactly what his experience was like, and that really intrigued me. And that's really where I got the bug to really decide that I really wanted to serve in the United States Navy myself. So during high school, I was still in high school, I decided this is what I was going to do. I was going to serve my country, so I went down to the Naval Recruiting Office and I signed on the dotted line after they shared with me some of the things that I could do to serve our country. It was an awesome opportunity, and I really do miss it. I really kind of wish I had stayed in, but today I stand here in this cemetery, humbled by the individuals that are around me, and really understanding what it really truly is to be a veteran. I encourage you to look up the Ohio Western Reserve National Cemetery. I ask you to look it up and learn more about it and what it means to be or be buried here. And also, I'd like to also look up another thing called the Wreaths Across America, which is an opportunity for all of us to honor these veterans by purchasing a wreath online and having it laid here in mid-December. Once again, you can go to the website www.wreathsacrossamerica.org and you can find more information about that. Once again, I'm really proud to have served this country, and I hope that someday you'll look at that upon graduation and what you're planning on doing, that you'll do the same. Thank you.
Covered over Hartman, World War II, in the Navy, and took over Japan when they surrendered, and we won the war.
I'm Cody Anderson. I was in the Air Force from 2012 to 2016. I did tours in South Korea, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Afghanistan.
March 1976, and was in the Army till 88 of August of 88. Got out of the Army completely, then re-enlisted to go to Desert Storm. Was in Desert Storm 90 to 91, then got back out of the military after that. Have 5 different MOSs, 63 Hotel, which is a heavy maintenance mechanic, track, and heavy trucks, big trucks, cranes, and all that kind of stuff. And then I have just a track MOS, and then a light wheel vehicle mechanic maintenance. And then I've got a generator mechanic MOS, and I also carry a medic MOS. So I have 5 different MOSs. And I enjoyed my time in the military. I liked it a lot. I still wish I could be in there, honestly. I mean, the brotherhood's unbelievable. I mean, you have friends at school that you think a lot of. Imagine having those kind of friends, only 10 times better. That you could, I got friends right now that I could call. I got a friend in South Dakota I could call right now and say, Dave, I need $10,000. And he'd send me $10,000. He's just that good of a friend. I got a friend that lives in California. I say, Steve, I need another car. And he'd do his darnest to get me another car. I mean, they're just that kind of friends. And they could call me and say, hey, I need this. And if it's at all possible, I could do it. I'd do it for them. You know, they're just that kind of friends. Luckily enough, I was in Desert Storm. There's babies being born today that wouldn't be born today if I hadn't went to Desert Storm because of my medical background. You know, that they were put back together good enough to where there's kids being born. You know, those are ripples that will be in the pond for the rest of my life and eternity. You know, there'll still be people coming for that happening. So that's kind of a cool feeling. You know, you stop and think about that. You know, there's little babies still coming that would not came had I not went. It's pretty cool.
Dan Steinbrook served in the United States Army 1961, 1967. Was assigned to 12th Cav, 2nd Armored Division, 1st Cav, 2nd Armored Division. Went to on the Cuban Crisis 1962. Come back, went to Germany in 1963. Was in the service in the 37th Armored over there. Was in the service to 1967. Went back in 1985 and served 1001st Field Service in on Route 50 till 1995.
My name is Paul Snyder, and I served in the U.S. Army from 1966 to 1977. I was with the 5th Special Forces off Fort Bragg, North Carolina. And I was proud to be in the military. And I made Sergeant E5 in 2 years. And Braxton is my grandson, and I love him very much. I just hope he don't have to go through what I did. It was nothing like the movies. Unless you were there, you don't know what it was like. And that's about all I have to say.
Hey folks, I'm First Lieutenant Trevor Patton. Y'all may remember me as a former wrestling coach at Southeastern or the old basketball announcer. Or you may know me through my lovely wife, Miss Swintek, now Mrs. Patton. I joined the Army through the Reserve Officer Training Corps at Ohio University in 2010, where I earned my commission as an Armor Officer in 2014. Armor Officers' careers include everything from Cap Scouts to Striker units to commanding tanks. Currently, I serve as the Executive Officer for Havoc Troop of the 2nd Squadron 107th Cavalry Regiment of the Ohio Army National Guard. Our missions are reconnaissance and security, and we act as the brigade commander's eyes and ears on the battlefield. Currently, we are preparing for a Joint Readiness Training Center evaluation at Fort Polk, Louisiana, where we will then be prepared for follow-on opportunities somewhere around the world. Have a happy Veterans Day, and go Panthers.
Hey everybody, I just want to take a minute to wish all the veterans out there a happy Veterans Day. My name is Rod Jones, and I've been in the Air Force for about 18 years. I'm a lieutenant colonel and a pilot. I currently fly KC-135s out Rickenbacker Air National Guard Base up in Columbus, Ohio. So I graduated from Southeastern in 1996. I'm married to my wife, Alicia, and we have 4 kids, Riley, Macy, who's a senior, Reagan is a sophomore, and Luke, our youngest, is a 6th grader. So we've lived all over the country. We've lived in North Carolina a couple times, Texas twice, Oklahoma, Illinois, and then we moved back to Chillicothe a couple years ago. So I'd like to leave all the students with a quote. Hopefully it'll make you think a little bit the next time you hear the national anthem or the next time you're around a veteran. And that quote is, "This nation will remain the land of the free only so long as it is the home of the brave." And that was said by Elmer Davis. So in closing, again, a huge thank you goes out from my family to all the veterans out there. And enjoy your day. Go Panthers!
I'm Staff Sergeant Lansing. I enlisted in the Army in 2009. I'm currently still on active duty.
I'm Dale Turner. I am a Navy veteran. I served in Vietnam in 1969 and 70. I worked with the Naval Support Activity in Da Nang and was later moved down to Saigon and assigned to the River Patrol Flotilla. Worked up along the Mekong River, about 3 miles from Cambodia. Most students and staff around here know me as bus driver for Bus 20. I have one granddaughter still here in school, Jay Turner. Jared Turner's my son. He's a coach of miscellaneous different things. And that's pretty much it for me.
Hey guys, my name is Private First Class Dalton Chafin. I currently serve in the Ohio Army National Guard, and I've been serving since 2018 as a combat engineer. I hope you guys have a great rest of your school year, and go Panthers.
Hi, I am Carol Eplin. I am a recently retired staff member with Southeastern Schools, and I am a United States Army veteran. I served 3 years during the Vietnam era, although I didn't actually serve in Vietnam. I served at multiple stateside duty stations and also spent a year in Korea. And I am very honored to be a United States Army veteran.
Private First Class Clinton Minnie, United States Army, Southeastern graduate, 2018.
Greater love has no one than to lay down one's life for his friends. John 15:13. Our veterans have selflessly given us our freedoms, securities, and a great nation to live in. Today is a day to honor those who have served and are currently serving. Thank you to everyone who has participated in this year's Veterans Day Assembly for choosing to honor our veterans today by showing your support for our heroes, past and present. Thank you to our veterans. We will never be able to show you how much we truly appreciate what you have done for our country. Let us never forget the sacrifices that were made for our freedom. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate each and every one of you taking part in our virtual Veterans Day Assembly this year. We appreciate all veterans. Have a safe day, and thank you.